No. Spider-Man does whatever Spider-Man does. Can't be stopped because she's Spider-Man.
You had it going there for a little bit, and then you kind of flopped.
Yeah. Oh, so the new Spider-Man Homecoming movie. Wow. I'm just gonna say it. Can I say it? I'm gonna say it.
Okay.
Best Spider-Man movie ever.
Ooh, that's a bit of a stretch. That, I don't know. Anyways, welcome to Roundtable's Marvel. We were going to talk about the Spider-Man movies previous to this, but I guess we'll do that some other time. Whoops. Yes, Spider-Man Homecoming. We've all been eagerly awaiting this. I am, of course, ToonKriticY2K, your cult of personality. We have, of course, Josh.
He trolled me.
Oh, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. And our resident Spider-Man, Lightning Bliss.
Does whatever Spider-Man does.
So, this could possibly be the best Spider-Man movie, but it has some very stiff competition. I, for one, enjoyed it, but let's just let's go down the table and do how we do the normal roundtable stuff. So, Josh, what did you like about Spider-Man Homecoming?
Okay, where do I begin? It's like I can count the things I didn't like on one hand. It's Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Okay, he looks like an actual kid. He looks 21. He looks and sounds like an actual kid. Like an actual teenager, and oh my gosh, and what I like about this particular Spider-Man is that he's not hyper competent. He's a kid. He's a kid. He sees all these superheroes. He's like, oh, I want to do that, but when it comes time to do it, he's very inexperienced. He doesn't know. He thinks it's like, oh, it's like, just being simple superhero. Just do a couple of the quips, and because I have all these powers, I'm kind of invincible, and bad things won't happen. No. That's the biggest thing I like about this movie, is that it perfectly exemplified the whole "with great power comes great responsibility" without saying it.
Yeah, this is not an origin movie. We don't get flashbacks to how he became Spider-Man. We don't get the whole Uncle Ben death. We don't get the whole with great power comes great responsibility thing. We
get it. It's just that it's not like shoved in your face.
Exactly. This is like the second time that we've had to reboot Spider-Man, or maybe technically third, I guess. We all know the story by this point. So it's good that they went with something a little bit different.
It reminds me of like Batman v
No, we're not going with
that. I'm serious. It kind of reminds me of that because, at the beginning it's like, okay, yeah, we know how Batman got his origin story. It's like his parents died. Can we just please move on?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying then, yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's see. What else?
What else? The humor on the level of Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh my gosh. It was so funny. There was so much to love and so much to laugh at. Oh my gosh. But I think one of the things that surprised me the most was the Vulture. He was a very, very compelling antagonist. And I just feel kind of weird calling him a villain because
he's not.
Yeah. He does do some bad things, but I just like the first time we actually see any sort of villain tendencies, it was more like just a casual disregard. He kills somebody, he's like, oh, that wasn't supposed to do that.
Whoops. No, that part made me laugh, like, in the theater. Like, I kind of sat up a bit, and then his reaction was what just got me burst out laughing. I'm like, okay.
But it's like, on one hand, it's like, oh my god, he just killed somebody, and he's just taking it so casually. But at the same time, the guy he killed was a real jerk.
Yeah, he was kind of threatening to open their whole operation. So at the end, what was he supposed to do? But at the same time, it's just like, when I saw this, like, oh, I thought that was the gravity gun. It reminded me of Civil War. Oh, I thought that was a water truck.
Flashbacks to that, yeah. Let's see. So
other things I loved. Okay, I loved how they utilized Captain America in this. Like, you could tell that those little things were made. Those little featurettes were made right after the Avengers.
Oh yeah, because he was still in the same costume.
Yeah, he was still in the same costume. I remember doing that. It's like, I'm not sure we should still be showing you guys this because he's technically a war criminal.
I'm like, awkward.
Yeah, it is
awkward.
Yeah, it is pretty awkward. But yeah, okay. And when you're in detention, it's like, oh my gosh, they're really, yeah. It's for a while. Yeah, Captain America has been treated as this uber serious character, and so it's kind of nice to see him again as, the costume is a little goofy. It's like his origins are a little goofy. It's his name is
Captain America.
Yeah, and I think that's funny that that's a silly side that we don't get to see from Captain America often. Like, it's like the Avengers cartoon does do his silly side pretty well.
Yeah. I guess I'll go next. So the obvious thing I want to talk about is Iron Man in this movie. Yeah, I know. Look at me. I got the Iron Man shirt. I'm the Iron Man fan. But this is a great movie, I think, for Tony Stark to showcase so much character development.
Yes.
This guy has been through so much over the past 8 years. Or so, 9 if you count them technically, I guess. But the way that he's developed into a mentor figure for Spider-Man has put him in a role that he's never really, found himself in. Considering, the last role, he was in such a very dark place. Yet now he's able to at least show a different side to himself that I think is very important for his character. He is almost a father figure for
sort of.
Kind of, a little bit. But I know this is, okay, by the way, there might technically be spoilers in here, but this was in the trailer, so I guess this counts. The one part, I think, that made me fully appreciate his role in this movie is right after the boat scene, where Peter's just like, I'm trying to just be like you, and then all Tony says is, no, I want you to be better. That line right there is, that hit me hard. Because it made me realize that Tony has done so many different things, like what happened in Avengers 2, all the stuff he's done in the first Iron Man movie, everything leading up to this point, even in Civil War. Even in Civil War, he finally realizes, maybe I should start taking responsibility for all of this, and he does so with that
with
one
great power comes great responsibility.
No, I would have thrown my popcorn if he went to Peter and said, hey, listen, take it from me. With great power comes great responsibility. And I would have just sat up like, no, do not shoehorn this in.
I bet that was in a blooper or something.
It could have been. To be honest, I would have been interested to see if they had done that. Let's see, what else did I like in this movie? I liked Ned. I was not sure I was going to like him, but he kind of grew on me a little bit. I thought he was an interesting comedic relief character for him to bounce off of, and he wasn't
I always referred to him as Chair Guy. Chair Guy?
Oh. Yeah, Chair Guy works pretty well for him. He's got a little bit of depth to him. He is a good friend for Peter, he's a good guy to bounce off of, and he was a little bit annoying in the beginning, but I think, like I said, he kind of rubbed off on me. And last thing, I'm going to bounce off of Josh with the Vulture. I loved that we have the Vulture for the first time, in film form. And it's such a deep character that you aren't expecting. Again, you can't really call him a villain. You look at him more so as
just an antagonist.
An antagonist who's very justified with his with his actions, considering what happens to him and why he's doing what he's trying to do now. It's not just revenge, but it's also I got a family and stuff. I got to do this. So he's not the same cookie cutter villain that you would expect. It makes me wonder if all the other Spider-Man villains, which we'll hopefully see come out, are like this. Lord knows, they can do it better than what they did with the Shocker. I'm sorry, but the Shocker kind of sucked. But I'll save that for when I get to the negatives, But
yeah, okay. And also getting back to the Vulture, just how like hyper confident and hyper. Okay, that scene where the door opened and you saw Michael Keaton just. Oh no!
Yeah, that scene where you were just like, "Oh boy, look at that Spidey's foot." Oh, I actually said the "Oh, sugar honey iced tea." I actually said that in the theater. I'm like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me!" No, chills, man, chills. I
actually didn't see that coming. I really didn't.
No one saw that coming.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah, and what I also love that at the end, he didn't rat out Peter.
Yeah. I think that makes him much more of a dynamic character that I want to see, like, in the future. I don't know if he's going to fit into whatever maybe Sinister Six plans they have, but it's still interesting to have him in this universe now. So...
1 second.
Oh, I was literally about to pass it off to Bliss. What else can I really say? I liked Michelle. I thought she was pretty interesting. Not accounting for the little mention they made at the end. I thought she was a pretty fun character. She was this very dry, sarcastic character that's just like Peter, what are you doing? Where are you going? You want to tell me? I'm just kidding. I don't care. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. That's almost forgetting. It's just I like that. Have you guys ever seen It's Just Some Random Guy's Stuff Spider-Man Says?
Yeah, y'all are taking all my points here, so leave me something to talk about, okay?
Okay, sorry. No, I know what you're talking about, though, Josh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but there's like one little joke in there where Spider-Man's just saying sorry over and over and over. And that's a part of this movie, and I just
one of my favorite parts about him is how sympathetic he is. That's so childlike, because I do that too.
Still, Peter in this movie is a precious little cinnamon roll when he's sad. I just want to give him a hug. Can I just say also, before we did this, I was reading an article, and I kid you not, the title of that article was, "Fans are relieved to know that Tom Holland is of legal age," and I'm like, are you guys serious? Like, really? He's 21, guys, and he looks...
then again, in the movie, that the kids were playing F, Marry, Kill.
That's true, they were. Awkward. Anyway, Bliss, what did you like about Spider-Man Homecoming?
Nice.
I guess I'll be bouncing up y'all's pointers, but yeah, I love how the acting here was amazing. First up, I had no idea he was 21. I actually thought he was a kid. He definitely looks the part. He definitely acted the part. He wants to have fun. He wants to prove himself. He wants to impress somebody he looks up to, and I can connect with that easily. That's one of my favorite parts about this Spider-Man in particular. Then to have him bounce off Tony Stark. I love that at one point, like, Tony shows up and it's not really him, it's the suit. And then the second time, it's like, you're not even talking to my face. And then he comes out and
he just comes up. And his face just lights up. He's just like, I'm in trouble.
As soon as he says that and Tony comes out of the suit, I'm like, oh, you're in trouble.
Oh, you're so grounded.
I love that as a kid, his immediate response is to tuck his tail between his legs and immediately apologize. I'm sorry. I love that there were just so many funny moments where these are just kids and he's putting himself in so much danger. The tension when he was climbing up the tower.
Yeah.
Like he said, he had never been that high before. Dude, you live in Queens. You never been that high before. You never been on like the Empire State Building. You never been on the. Okay. Well, maybe it was unnerving of the fact that not only was he very high, but there weren't many areas where he could save himself, like catch a tree or another building, because it was out in nowhere.
Like the one scene where he's running through the field and he shoots his web and it just kind of sprays out. He's like, oh, okay, and it's that one long shot of him just running.
It's like, obviously he is not perfect. He has to figure himself out and improvise when he's out of his element. I the camera angles and the action sets for everything was just spot on, because when he was up on that tower, I admit my fear of heights started to pick up.
A little bit of vertigo.
Don't fall, please don't fall, please don't let your spider sense fail you now. Do not fall off the building, please. And him going all out when he made that mistake with the boat, and him just going all out to try and keep it together as a last desperate measure, even though he clearly was going to lose that in the film. I bet that was a huge eye opener for him.
Yeah.
Imagine you are a kid with this power, though, and you're doing everything in your ability to save these people, knowing that you probably... I cannot imagine that feeling sitting on someone's shoulders.
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, so the tension and the emotions are spot on, and then to have him at the end, spoiler alert, then to have him at the end go out of his way to save the one person that was actually trying to kill him.
Well, I think it was because at that point he understood, understood the other guy's perspective. He's not, just gonna let him just die. He was trying to stop him. I think now we can move to the negatives. So, Josh, I know that you have very few negatives with this movie.
Okay, few negatives. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I think the song selection was a little heavy-handed.
How so?
It's just, okay, yeah, I liked a lot of these songs too, like Ballroom Blitz. It's like, those are really great songs, but I think they were trying a little too hard. It's just like, okay, yeah, I know I know this is kind of like a, kind of a school thing, but I don't know, it just kind of didn't, kind of felt like it didn't make sense here, because a lot of times these songs are what the kids are listening to, or it just felt weird listening to all these songs.
Well, I think it was to sort of fit a little bit of a theme for the movie. I think it sort of, at least I like the music. I think it set the tone. Like you saw the ending credit scene. I think that kind of nicely wraps up the kind of theme I think the director wanted to go for the movie. So it helps set it apart a little bit. But I can agree there were a few songs that didn't quite stick out.
I admit, I don't think I was paying attention to the music that often. It's like one thing for the first Guardians of the Galaxy, the show, and then the first song you hear is just a classic song, and that set the tone, and I immediately fell in love with that soundtrack. But with here, I can't even remember the songs, so I guess they were forgettable for me.
Yeah.
So, I'll have to go, obviously I'll have to rewatch this movie again, because my husband doesn't know I've seen it yet.
Shh.
You're gonna have to mute this out. But, yeah, I can see your point. I guess, obviously, the songs didn't do anything for me because I don't even remember them.
What else for you, Josh?
Let's see. What else? It's like, that's just off the top of my head. That was the only thing that just really kind of bothered me.
Yeah.
I also, it's like, maybe Flash could have,
I know what you're going for. I hated Flash in this movie. I hated him so much. Maybe that was the point. But his character was so bland and uninspired and underdeveloped, and there's no reason for me to care for him as a character other than, yeah, that's Flash Thompson. Not really. Not this version. This version is very dry.
I couldn't take him... he was just a high school jerk.
But that's what Flash has always been. Heck, I liked the version of Flash from Amazing Spider-Man. Heck, I even liked the little Flash from the original Spider-Man movies. I'll take those two over this one because this one's just so undercooked, underdeveloped.
They were kind of going for a little. I see what they were kind of trying to go for. They're kind of going for a smarter Flash, kind of a smart, more of a bully Flash that instead of physically abusive, just goes by attacking your attacking your weaknesses and trying to rally the people against you. And he's just a big coward.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and so I feel like they could have done a little bit, like made him feel like a little more like an actual character instead of just the bully.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did like that they did change things over a little bit, but in the end, he's just a bully.
Yeah.
For me, like, not only was Flash Thompson a disappointment, the biggest disappointment in this movie, for me at least, is the Shocker. When we first actually get to see the Shocker, we kind of get a little bit of glimpse in that, oh look, there's the fist thingy, but then I realize it's just a redone version of, like, Crossbones weapons. I'm like, okay, whatever. But then we see the jacket, and I'm like, oh, okay, so cool, that's the Shocker. No, it's not. Okay. Whatever. So when we finally get to see a proper Shocker versus Spider-Man fight, it's less than 5 minutes. He's not even in the costume. He only has one gauntlet as opposed to, like, that isn't even the Shocker. He's not even in a full getup yet. Like, that's just a dude with the gauntlet. Like, that's not the Shocker. Like, even Michael Keaton's kid is like, ooh, you're the Shocker. Ooh, so cool. Even he makes fun of it. The Shocker is supposed to be an intimidating villain. He's one of the staples of the Spider-Man series. He's got a ridiculous-looking outfit, but you know what? If they had the jacket and the mask and an extra gauntlet and, like, a proper outfit, then, ooh, yeah, that's Spider-Man versus the Shocker. But instead, it's just Spider-Man versus a dude with an electro fist. It's really lame.
They're saving him. Maybe they're setting him up for, like, later, like...
I would hope so.
I don't know, because I don't even know how... Like, it's one thing with the Shocker, to be honest, I don't know much about the Shocker, and I did watch the Spider-Man animated series. I didn't see him very often, though. I tend to see the Green Goblin and Doc Ock and the Lizard Man. But
that was interesting. We didn't get any Oscorp mentions. No Harry Osborn. Like, none of that. Like, not even a little bit of a glimpse into that. That's really interesting. I want to see if they're going to do that in the second movie.
Possibly. But, yeah, going back to Flash, he was just your generic jerk high school bully, and I'm like, okay, this is the guy that's supposed to get possessed by Venom at some point, and he's a jerk, and I'm not going to feel sorry for him when that happens. And even then, is he going to be remotely entertaining other than he's the generic jerk, and I wish for him to go away.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way looking at him, like, that's eventually going to be Venom at some point. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Like, okay, let me put it this way. When it comes to villains, yeah, a good villain is a villain you love to hate. Good example, Negan from The Walking Dead. That guy gives me nightmares. This character is just a generic bully that is annoying, and it's like, I was kind of, to be honest, when I saw this character, and every time he was on screen, I was just thinking, man, I wish Josh was in this movie just so he could just slap this punk on the head.
Oh, yeah, fun story. So... We saw this last Thursday at the time of this recording. We were at Crystal Moutnain Ponycon. It was Josh's birthday, and I had gotten him a birthday gift of a gift card for us to all see Spider-Man together. Somehow, some way, we ended up at 2 different theaters to see Spider-Man. So we're all just like, okay, what's going on here? Like, where is everybody? And whoops. So we all didn't get to see it, like, at the same time.
Well, sort of. I mean, we did get to see it at the same time, just different theaters.
Yeah, we were literally at different theaters, but we saw it at the same time. So we were all watching it together in spirit.
In spirit.
I mean, come on. The point is we still got to watch it. Yeah, a bit bummed out we didn't get to see it, like, physically together, but we can all happily say we saw it.
I wish I had been there to properly see Josh's reaction to the final post-credit scene. I know I saw a picture of it, but I wish I had been there for that. Like, were you even expecting that?
How could I have possibly expected that?
Just like freaking Captain America trolled you, man.
I can't believe that. No, I was No. I knew there was going to be 2 post-credit scenes. I was expecting them to advertise for another film, like for the Black Panther or something. But no, we get this! We get Captain America trolling us! I'm like, why?
It was kind of brilliant how they did that, though, to be fair. Were there any negatives other than that? Other than Flash, Bliss?
What was my other negative? Oh, the girlfriend. The girlfriend. I really didn't care for her.
Oh, Liz?
She was bland.
Well, you can't have all be winners.
Oh my god.
Well, I know. I mean, I go back to the other Spider-Man movies. Mary J. always had a... I mean, I know she was playing the cliche damsel in distress, but at least she was memorable.
Yeah, but she was, yes, Mary Jane in the original Spider-Man movies was memorable for the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons, yes. But this character, Liz, she was boring. I didn't find her fun at all. I mean, the one time where there was some actual character development was when she and the friends were sneaking out to go swimming. She said it brings character to be a little bad once in a while. So I'm like, okay, so she's not exactly the perfect little girl at school. No, she likes to be a little rebellious from time to time. Okay, let's see some more of... okay.
No.
Bored now.
You know what? You know what I miss, Josh?
What?
I miss Gwen Stacy. I miss Gwen Stacy.
Gwen Stacy. Yeah, Gwen Stacy was a lot of fun because she was smart, she was sassy, and she made Spider-Man say Mother Hubbard.
Which was pretty funny. Was there anything else, or should we wrap it up here?
I think we're about good here. It's really funny how we were just really straining to find flaws with this movie.
Really, the only flaws with this are like some of the supporting cast, but then again, they're not on screen really to leave that much of an impact. Like, the action's great, comedy's great, the soundtrack is great as always, the references are good, the main cast, like, was spot on, so I don't see how this is a bad movie. In fact, this is apparently the most highest rated Spider-Man movie ever. And, well, I'm gonna have to give it to them. It's really good, but is it better than Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man?
I would say yes. Just because, unlike those, which are good, I just like what Marvel seems to do best is balancing drama, action, and comedy. And that's what I take from this Spider-Man movie over the others, is the comedy. I get a refreshing laugh at the end.
Yeah, I can see that. What about you, Josh?
It's tough because Andrew Garfield was really, really good, and yeah, it's like I know Tobey Maguire was all right, but I just kind of feel like he's a little. It's like there wasn't enough snarkiness to him when he was in the Spider-Man costume, and there wasn't enough. And you know, when he was Peter Parker, he was just like always. He always felt like he was about to cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Andrew Garfield, okay, his Spider-Man was a lot of fun, and there were hints of him being a normal kid, but it wasn't it wasn't as pronounced as it was with Tom Holland. But he definitely seemed like he definitely had more of the snark and the confidence and the oh man, he definitely had a little bit of joy. So it's really tough to pick between Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland for me. I think it's a little recent for me, but yeah.
See, I'm confused because I don't read the comics and I didn't see all of the animated series of Spider-Man. So the latest I remember was the 90s version, like that would play after X-Men, and I was always confused because Peter Parker is so buff and adult looking, but it implies that he's going to school, and I could never tell, is this high school or college?
Yeah.
It looks like it was college. So, but I liked the idea that he was a kid. So when this comes out, I'm like, yes, this is the Spider-Man I would prefer. But I don't know which is true. Was he always a kid or was he a college student? Which is it?
To me, I've always held Andrew Garfield in a special place in my heart as Spider-Man. Like, I loved the way that there was so much snark to him and so much joy to him. The socially awkward parts of Peter Parker mixed really well with the snark. And when, like, the bad stuff happened, it hit him hard, and you could feel that. However, I think Tom Holland did it better, just by a little bit. I think that there was more of a sweetness to his character. You can tell this is a kid. He's not like the hero that we know like he's going to be right now, but he's going to grow into that. And I think that's what I'm looking forward to seeing most with this character. We're going to grow up with this Spider-Man. We're going to watch him grow. We're going to watch him develop. We're going to grow up with him. In a sense, even though we're like past our 20s at this point, but it's
speak for yourself.
It's that feeling though. It's that feeling of watching a character grow and develop, and we're along for that ride too. We didn't get to see his exact origins, but I think here's where when he made the choice to like, no, I'm gonna continue like on my own path. Which also, spoilers, Josh, you weren't in the theater for this. But when Tony's just like, here's my offer for you to join, and it's the freaking Iron Spider outfit, I grab someone next to me, I'm just like, that's the Iron Spider! Oh my god, that's the Iron Spider! Yes! I really geeked out. I had one person look over at me and like, I don't care, I was the Iron Spider, I want to see that in the next movie.
Freaking see Spider-Man talking to me about that. He's so psyched for that because he actually did the research on the Iron Spider and what it's capable of. He's like, he's going to be wearing this in the
Infinity War.
Infinity War. He's going to be wearing that, you know that. And I'm like, okay, what does it do? And he gave me a list of what it's supposed to do, and I'm like, oh my god, this thing is so overpowered.
Oh yeah, that's also real quick. That's the other thing I liked. I liked the AI in the suit too. I think that was really unique. He has his own Jarvis. That's so cute. It's so adorable. Okay, but getting back on track. I think this is my favorite version of Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield still holds a very close place in my heart, but man, is this really good though. Like, if you haven't seen this movie by now, you totally should. If you're a Spider-Man fan, if you're a Marvel fan, you need to see this. And I would highly recommend seeing the other Spider-Man movies too. Well, Spider-Man 1 and 2 and Amazing Spider-Man 1, that's it. You don't need to see the others.
Come on, go see it. Do it. Put it in your face. Don't be a sissy boy.
Sissy boy.
So, if you've made it this far, go ahead and put down in the comments what your thoughts are on Spider-Man Homecoming, and join us next time when we get to Thor Ragnarok. That's,
I think that's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're batting 1,000 here. Guardians of the Galaxy was amazing. Spider-Man Homecoming was amazing. Now, Thor, my man.
Don't mess this up this time.
Please.
Third time's a charm.
Please, we need 3 almost perfect Marvel movies. If you screw this up, I am never watching any of your movies again, man.
You're not.
No, that's a lie. You're lying. You're lying through your teeth right now.
You're a liar.
I don't know. I want Thor 3 to be good because Thor has not had a good movie. Well, maybe the first, kind of, I guess, if you want to stretch it out. But it's just, we need a good Thor movie. Please. I'm begging you, man. I mean, if not, there's always going to be Black Panther after you, so, you know, it won't be that bad of a stretch. Anyway, go ahead, put down in the comments, go ahead and follow Josh and Bliss and all that other stuff. Wish Bliss well on her trip to Germany.
Deutschland.
That too, same place. It's the same thing. Y'all both have schnitzel there, so it's the same thing.
Ha ha ha.
Anyways, thank you all for watching, and see you in the next video.